Rajeshwari MJ. She pursued her BE in Electrical and Electronics at the People's Education Society College of Engineering, Mandya. She pursued her MTech in VLSI Design and Embedded Systems at the Sri Jagadguru Balagangadharanta Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Her personal skills lie in good verbal and written communication skills. Her areas of interest lie in OOPS with C++, renewable energy sources, HVDC transmission, digital relays, automotive electronics, advances in VLSI design. She has also had papers presented at the national level, such as the Innovative Architecture for SoC Multi-Core Hybrid Processor, presented at the RNSIT, Bangalore.
Welcome to UGC's lecture series of BSc Physics Honours. Today we are dealing with the subject electronic devices. In this session we are going to cover about the topic that is two terminal diodes and its applications. And some of the topics that we are going to cover in this session are half wave rectifiers, full wave rectifiers. In full wave rectifiers there are two types, one is center tap full wave rectifiers and another one is bridge full wave rectifier. And the last topic that we are going to cover is ripple factor. So, let us start with the half wave rectifier. So, before starting with the half wave rectifiers, what does the rectifier stands for? What does the rectifier means? So, we know we already studied the characteristics of the and operation of diode in the previous sessions. So, the diode usually conducts only in a one direction, that is what is called as unidirectional device, because it only conducts in only one direction, that is why it is called as unidirectional device. Because of this property we can use diode as a rectifier, that is the main characteristics of the diode. So, which helps us to use a diode as a rectifier. So, because of this unidirectional conduction of diode helps us to use a diode as a rectifier. So, because diode have a ability to conduct current in one direction and block current in the other direction. So, the diode are used in circuits called rectifiers that convert AC voltage into DC voltage. Obviously, we need a AC source, so that the diode can operate only in a unidirectional. So, whenever the source is AC, the AC input will going to get a output. If the diode will be a element used in a circuit, we will get the output as an unidirectional current. So, the input for a diode will be AC. Rectifiers are found in all DC power supplies that operate from an AC voltage source. So, usually we can see diodes in all AC or DC supplies, DC circuits that operates with the AC supply voltage, we can see the diodes. The rectifier can be either a half wave rectifier or a full wave rectifier. So, the rectifier can be two types, that is half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. That is what we are going to cover in detail in this session. We are going to start with half wave rectifier first. So, half wave rectifier, the name itself says the rectification will be only half wave, the input half wave will be rectified as output when you are going to use a diode in this type of circuit. In half wave rectifier circuit, only half of the input signal will going to be rectified. A diode is connected to an AC source and to a load resistor R, that is forming a half wave rectifier. We are going to show here this is what the half wave rectifier circuit. Here the rectifier diode will be connected across the load resistor R and V0 will be the output voltage, Vi will be the input voltage. If we connect the diode like this, it will form a half wave rectifier, and this can be also rewritten as an short circuit equivalent circuit of a diode like this. So, if we are going to use and if we are going to consider polarities like this for a half wave rectifier, the half wave equivalent short circuit diode will be like this, and the output voltage will be V0 is equal to Vi. For this type, V0 will be Vi is in the sense only during the half cycle, only during the positive half cycle of a input will be the output. So, the amplitude, this is Vi will be the amplitude of a input voltage, that will be exactly appeared as an output only in a positive half wave. So, and the current flow here we can observe with the help of this polarities here we made, the current will flow like this, and making the this diode will operate in a forward bias condition. So, that is why here in the equivalent circuit we mentioned as a short circuit. So, it will flow across the resistor and through ground. So, the across the resistance, if we measure the voltage, that voltage will be equal to the input voltage. So, this is V naught, that is equal to V I, and this can be represented like this. V naught will be is of V m. V m is a maximum peak amplitude that we can see in a output voltage, and this will be only half wave, because only positive half wave cycle of an input voltage will be rectified. Here when we come to the next negative half cycle, because input is AC, what happens during the negative half cycle? During the negative half cycle, the entire polarities will be changed again. So, it is like this, the Vi polarities will be plus and minus, but here we can observe it is minus and plus. So, next the diode polarity is also changed here. So, due to this we can say this diode here in a negative half cycle will operates in a reverse bias mode. So, and it again connected across a load resistance, that is R, and V naught is what the output voltage we obtain, but here what we are going to observe with the help of equivalent diode short circuit, that is the diode is a reverse bias, it is open. So, V naught is equal to 0. That is what we can see with the help of a waveform diagram here. In the negative half cycle, there will be no voltage, that is V naught is equal to 0. So, the voltage that we can get from the half wave rectifier, it is only from this timing, that is 0 to T by 2. From T by 2 to T, there will be no voltage, that is V naught is equal to 0 volts. So, next we move on to the average value. How we are going to find the average value in a half wave rectifier? So, it is determined by finding the area under the curve over a full cycle, that is illustrated here, and it has to be divided with the 2 pi, the number of radians in a full cycle. So, in the number of radians, if we consider 2 pi, if we are going to consider it is the 2 pi, if we observe the waveform fully, then we can say by divided by 2 pi, but here it has to be divided by pi. Here we can observe the waveform only from 0 to pi. So, the average value, that is average voltage, that is equal to Vp divided by pi is what the average value we will get in a half wave rectifier. So, this equation shows the average voltage is approximately 31.8% of Vp for a half wave rectified voltage. So, Vp is a peak voltage, V average is a average voltage, that what we form. So, V average will always equal to 31.8% of Vp, that is peak voltage. So, this can be easily found with the help of half wave rectifier output voltage. Next we move on to full wave rectifiers. So, full wave rectifiers, as the name indicates, during the positive and during the negative cycle we will get the output. So, we can say we can observe the current through entire 360 degree of input current. This is how the full wave rectifier works. A full wave rectifier allows unidirectional current through the load during the entire 360 degree of the input cycle, whereas half wave rectifier allows current through the load only during one half of the cycle. That is what we can observe with the help of our input and output voltage. This is what the input that we, if we are consider sinusoidal input that we are going to give for a full wave rectifier V in. So, V out will be the output voltage, which can be observed like this. It is having a output where we can observe it will going to operate in both positive as well as negative half cycle. That is why we are getting the cycles continuously, there is no gap in between, that what we observed in a half wave rectifier. The result of full wave rectification is an output voltage with this frequency twice the input frequency, and that pulses every half cycle of the input. So, that is what we can observe. We will observe at every cycle we are going to observe the output, for every, even for positive or negative we are going to observe the output here, and also for same period we are getting the frequency will be twice here. in a full wave rectifier. And also one more thing that we can observe in the full wave rectifier is the number of positive alternations that makes up the full wave rectified voltage is twice that of the half wave voltage for the same time interval. For the same time interval we can observe two waves, so two full waves that what we can observe in a full wave rectifier, but there we are going to observe only one cycle. That will going to, this will makes a frequency will be twice than that a half wave rectifier. And also the average voltage from the output voltage we can find from this output voltage will be for a full wave rectifier is V average is equal to 2 Vp divided by pi. So, 2 Vp is 2 is what we are observing here, this is 2 Vp because we get 2 cycles, that is why it is 2 Vp divided by pi, and also we can say it is 63.7 times of peak voltage. The average voltage will be 63.7 times the peak voltage. So, in full wave rectifier we are going to study two types of rectifier, that is center tapped, one is center tapped, another one is bridge rectifier. So, we are going to study now center tapped full wave rectifier. A center tapped rectifier is a type of full wave rectifier that uses two diodes connected to the secondary of a center tap transformer like this. This is the center tap transformer. For this we are going to connect two diode D1 and D2 as a diode, it is connected here, and also the input is coupled through the transformer to the center tap secondary. The input for the diode is connected with the center tap secondary, we are going to connect to the diode, and also half of the total secondary voltage appears between the center tap and each end of the secondary winding as shown. So, whatever the voltage that we can observe here will be appeared as an half on both the side of the center tap secondary voltage will be appeared across the two, that is center tap center tap will be appeared the two different voltage, that is half of the voltage secondary voltage will be appear between the center tap. So, this is how we can connect, and also the turns ratio here is 1:2. This D1 and D2 is connected across the resistance R here also, and Vi, that is what the input voltage that we are going to give through the primary. So, for what happens for positive half cycle in a center tap full wave rectifier, we will observe here. If your Vm is a peak voltage, that is the input voltage, having a peak amplitude will be Vm. So, this is given as an input through the primary, and here we have to observe the polarities carefully. The polarities of half of this center tap will be like this, this becomes minus now, this portions become minus, and here it becomes positive. So, this is minus in the sense this plus. So, this plus in the sense this diode D1 will comes to as a works as a forward bias, and it is operated in a forward bias mode, and if this is forward bias mode, and we can observe the R polarities, that is resistor polarities plus and minus here, and the current flows through like this. So, the positive cycle through whenever that diode input is in a positive half cycle, we can observe the output as a positive half cycle of the same polarity that what we are giving in the as an input. So, and D1 will be forward bias in a positive half cycle. So, and also next we move, and the D2 will be negative half cycle, there is no flow of current here, and for negative half cycle what will going to happen during negative half cycle, we are going to observe this only this negative portion is given as an input. So, the polarity of the input is changed here, it is comes to minus and plus. So, here also the polarity again changes, this is plus and this is minus, and below this center tap this portion will comes as minus and plus. So, this polarity makes this diode D2 to conduct as to work as a forward bias, and this will be in forward bias mode now. So, that the current will flow in this direction, this will going to makes the output will be appeared, and it is exactly that what we observed as an input, and it is of a same polarity that observed and previously that what we observed when we are going to give the positive half cycle. Because why we are getting during both the cycles positive and negative half cycle, we are getting positive output only, positive polarity output only we are getting when we are going to give positive or negative for a center tapped a full wave rectifier, because the current flows through the resistance is same. If the direction of the current flow through the resistance R is same, whereas we are giving positive or negative. We can observe here the direction of current is flowing from through R is like this in negative half cycle. For positive half cycle also, it is direction of current flowing through the R is this direction is same. So, this will makes us to get a output which is having same polarity output will be getting as an output with the help of center tap full wave rectifier. So, next move on to another type of full wave rectifier, that is bridge full wave rectifiers, and here the bridge full wave rectifiers uses 4 diodes. So, bridge in the sense we always there is a certain fashion is there to connect the diode. So, the diode will be always connected in this fashion and the resistor will be connected across this diode 4 diodes like this, and here also the same Vi input is given and we considered Vi input, and during the positive half cycle what will happen? During the positive half cycle the current will be flow like this, because D2 and D3 will be in on condition during positive half cycle. We can observe here. So, the polarities will be like this, Vi polarities will be in this fashion. So, here also positive comes. So, this diode will be off. If it is comes positive here, this D2 diode will be in on mode, and here this will be in off mode, this D3 diode will be in on mode. So, the current will be flowing in this direction. So, it will be flowing in this direction, that is what shown here, and the output will be appeared same that what we observed in a center tapped also. We can get the positive half cycle as same polarity as an input voltage. So, what happens during negative half cycle? So, during negative half cycle the diode the reverse diode, that is D4 and D1, D4 diode and D1 diode will be in forward bias condition. So, that the current will be flowing like this, the current will be flowing like this. So, here also we are getting the output voltage of same polarity, that is positive polarity output we are getting for both positive and negative, because the current direction across the resistor is same for positive as well as negative, that is why we are getting positive output for both positive and negative half cycle. So, next we move on to the filters. So, filters is very important things in electronic devices. Filters actually eliminates the unwanted noise or fluctuations that is found in the input, and which helps to get out DC or constant level DC output by eliminating fluctuations. A power supply filter ideally eliminates the fluctuations in the output voltage of a half wave or full wave rectifier and produces a constant level of DC voltage. So, filters we already said it going to eliminates the fluctuations. So, when in the half wave and full wave rectifier in the output, if we may get some fluctuation, this can be eliminated with the help of adding filters for the circuits. So, filtering is necessary because electronic circuits require a constant source of DC voltage and current to produce power and biasing for proper operation. So, DC constant level of voltage is required for any electronic devices for an operation. So, for this purpose we need a filter to avoid any fluctuation in a power supply. So, a small amount of fluctuation in the filter output voltage is called as a ripple. So, this is very important term is the fluctuation that we are going to not commonly use, we can call it as ripple. The small fluctuation we will call it as ripple here. So, this picture we can observe here rectifier without a filter, that what we studied till now, we can get the rectifiers without a filter, we will get input will be this V in, and the output that what we get from a full wave rectifier like this. So, if we use a filter, the output will be slightly different. If we use a filter, output will be having a ripple. So, a small amount of fluctuation the filter output voltage will be called as ripple. So, output voltage from a filter will be having ripple. So, what is that? we can observe here the full wave rectifier will be there, this output will be given to the filter. So, the filter output be having some small ripple will be there. This is called as a small amount of fluctuation and also called as ripple. It is from the output of the filter. This is the output from the filter. So, now we are going to see one of the type of a filter that we most commonly used in electronic devices, that is capacitor filter. So, this capacitor filter helps us to remove the fluctuations or ripples from the rectifiers. A filter is simply a capacitor connected from the rectifier output to ground. That is what we are going to observe here. The filter is the diode circuit will be there, half wave rectifier circuit. For this rectifier circuit, the output will we are going to connect capacitor for this, where RL represent the equivalent resistance, that is RL, and this is the capacitor, simple capacitor, which is acts as a filter here. Very first stage, when the supply is given, the diode will operate in a forward bias condition through during this portion of input voltage. So, that is till Vp, that is peak voltage, till the input voltage reaches the maximum peak voltage, it is going to operate like this, and the current, it will be in forward bias, this diode will be in forward bias, and initially the capacitor will be in charging. In this condition it is charging, the capacitor is charging during this portion, that is during till Vp. Happens only once when we turn on the power, this is what happens, the diode will be on forward bias and the capacitor is charging, and we can observe that Vp is equal to Vp input minus 0.7 volts is what we can observe till here, that is what the input voltage. Next, after this dotted line is over, after this when it crosses the peak voltage, what happens? The capacitor starts discharges through RL after peak of positive alternation when the diode is reverse biased, and also this discharging occurs during the portion of the input voltage that is indicated here. So, whenever it crosses the peak voltage, the diode will become a reverse bias and the capacitor starts discharging and the output appears like this. So, this the dark lines that we are going to show here, it is in the form of slope which will be appear for this entire portion. So, which is the capacitor can discharge only through the load resistance at a rate that is determined by RLC constant. So, RLC is the time constant which will going to helps how much time the capacitor will going to discharge, that is a time constant that is determined by RLC, which is normally as a long length compared to the period of the input. The larger the time constant, the less the capacitor will discharge. If the time constant is larger, the capacitor discharge will be less. So, next we move on to the, and after that what happens for when we are going to take when it is exceeds, the capacitor charges back to peak again, back to peak of input when the diode becomes forward biased again. So, once it reaches terminals and it reaches to a peak voltage, peak input voltage, again the peak input voltage is going to reach the peak input voltage, again it started charging. So, this charging again occurs in the output voltage. So, this during the portion of the input voltage, it is indicated again and as a solid dark blue color we can observe. This time is a discharging and this is the charging point, and this is initially, that is what the capacitor charges initially, and after that when it crosses the peak voltage, the capacitor started discharges, and again when it started reaching towards the peak voltage, it again started charging. This is a cycle, complete cycle of charging and discharging of a capacitor filter that is used as in a rectifier. So, operation of a half wave rectifier with a capacitor input filter will be this, and the current indicate charging or discharging of the capacitor. So, the current here which will going to indicate that charging and discharging, current flow here which indicates that charging and discharging. If it comes into the capacitor, the current, it tells us the capacitor is charging. If the current is moving away from the capacitor, it tells us the capacitor is discharging. So, next we move on to the important term that we need to know about the rectifier is ripple voltage. So, the capacitor quickly charges at the beginning of a cycle and slowly discharges through RL after the positive peak of the input voltage. So, after positive peak of input, it is quickly charges, but it is very lately discharges. That is what we can observe. It is going to quickly charge, but the discharge time is too large. So, the variation in the capacitor voltage due to the charging and discharging is called the ripple voltage. This variations of voltage like charging it is takes some different time and discharging it takes some. This type of voltage is difference in variations in charging and discharging is called as ripple voltage. Generally, ripple is undesirable. We do not want this ripple. The smaller the ripple, the better the filtering action. The filtering action will be better if the ripple is smaller. This is what the large ripple means, less effectiveness filter. This is the ripple will be large here. This is having a two slope and it is large here, that is why it is the filter have less effective. The filter will be called as more effective when the smaller ripple means this is what we can observe, the smaller ripple. Generally, the larger the capacitor value, the smaller the ripple for the same input and load. So, the capacitor value should be chosen as a larger value, so that we can get a less ripple can be observed at the output. So, comparison we can made with the half wave and full wave also here. This can be observed here, where we can observe for the same slope there are two different slopes will be there for half wave and full wave. Finally, we come to the end of this section. Initially, we studied about the diodes rectifier. What does a rectifier means? Rectifiers will its ability of diode which is having a property of conducting in only one direction, which helps us to use a diode as a rectifier. In a half wave rectifier, the diode conducts only in the positive half cycle, whereas in full wave rectifier the output that we can get with the help of using two diodes, we can conduct the diode both in positive as well as negative half cycle. We can get the output in an entire 360 degree. And also we studied about the filters, which is very much useful in electronic circuits, which is going to eliminate the fluctuation that can be found in the inputs in the supply. With this can be the small amount of fluctuation that can be called as a ripple, that can be eliminated with the help of filters, and we can study it with the simple filter, that is capacitor filter. And also the ripple factor is an identification of the effectiveness of the filter, that how effectively the filter can be can be determined with the help of this ripple factor. And the ripple factor can be lowered by increasing the value of the filter capacitor or increasing the load resistance. This is what the inference that we can study with the help of ripple factor. Some of the questions are for an half wave rectifier, there is current through the load for approximately what percentage of the input cycle. How does full wave rectifier differ from a half wave rectifier? If the load resistance connected to a filtered power supply is decreased, what happens to the ripple voltage? Define ripple factor. References are www.allaboutcircuits.com, www.circuitmagic.com, and the textbook references are Electronic Devices and Circuit Theory by Robert Boylestad, Louis Naschulski, and Electronic Circuits and Devices by Alan Motorshed. This ends the session. Thank you.